Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a tarot oracle reading, and this is for the beginning of the month of July. And you, Leo, are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not Leo, we all have a little bit of Leo in us somewhere. If you do have your birth chart, which house is Leo in, that will give you further clarity as to where this information is most likely to be prominent for you. Also, this is a timely reading, so if you're watching it at this time, it is the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it has been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then? That could give you further clarity as to your situation now. So we have the Six of Cups is the underlying energy for this reading. And the Six of Cups is talking about reconciliation, or it can be talking about a reunion of some sort. So the reconciliation would imply that there needs to be some sort of forgiveness. Forgiveness is for yourself. If you forgive someone, you don't even really have to tell them. And forgiveness isn't saying that you condone the actions that you want to forgive. It's just saying that you want to open your heart up and heal it so that you can be strong to having the love that you deserve come into your life and heal from whatever happened. Now, this card, if it's not about that type of reconciliation, sometimes can be talking about reconciliation of your childhood, or sometimes just it's a reunion. You might be going home for a holiday or a vacation or something like that. We do have Mercury in retrograde tonight. And so with Mercury in retrograde, it is not uncommon for people from the past, situations from the past that there hasn't been closure, for them to show up in our lives. So just be aware of that. And that's that. The Six of Cups is basically a card of illusions. When you first look at it, you see two children playing with these potted plants and someone standing in the background there watching over them. But when you look again, you realize, wait a minute, that's a gnome, and this is a little woman. And this little woman, when you look at her from the back, she looks like an old hag. But when you look at her from the front, she looks like a young woman. And this gnome is trying to give them these flowers that really don't belong to him. And the old hag is like, go away, we don't want your stupid flowers. And the younger woman is saying, she's being nice, she's people-pleasing, and she's explaining herself why, they're dressed in their finery, they have their white glove on, and they don't really want to get it dirty, that type of thing. So this is saying if someone from the past that has treated you badly comes back in, are you going to give them another chance? Like, are you going to people-please? Are you going to stand up for yourself? What are you going to do? And we have also the white flowers in tarot represent innocence, but these flowers are not innocent. These are from the nightshade family. This is Datra, and Datra is highly toxic. If children or pets were to ingest it, they could become very ill. Shamans sometimes use Datra in their ceremonies to create visions to help you heal from your childhood wounds. And but that is with adults, and they've had all the training. So this is not something you would grow in your yard if you have children and pets. It's not something you would let them play with. And the person in the background watching over them is actually someone who's just a stranger walking down the path. So the whole thing is an illusion, and it might be saying there could be some illusions from your childhood that maybe you weren't aware of. There could be, hidden secrets. There could be something that happened and you thought it went one way, and you were always told the certain story of the way things were. And maybe you're finding out that that's not really the case, because we do have the truth here. But this is the energy reconciling your childhood, and possibly with someone in the past, and maybe just having a reunion with someone from the past or something. This is talking about the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords represents some sort of information, communication coming through. Sometimes this could just be from yourself. You could just be having an aha moment, aha. That's it. You've been thinking about something and thinking about something, and all of a sudden it comes to you. This is the answer. This is what I want to do. It's that kind of energy. And generally it catches you off guard, not when you're really thinking about it anymore. It just pops into your head. This energy, the pages, they would work for the king and queen from a very young age, 7 to 14 years of age, to begin with usually. And that may sound very young, but remember, back in those days, the life expectancy was only like half of what it is now. So people worked younger, for sure. And the element that the Page of Swords is working with is the element of air. And that is expressing the thoughts. And the sword is representing your mental intelligence, discipline of your mind. And of course your thoughts, and your thoughts are expressed through words. That could be written or verbal. So it's some sort of communication coming in. As I said, it could just be from within yourself, or it could be, in the old days, this would always be a male and it would always be in person. But these days, this could be a female. All of the characters in the tarot are archetypes. So the male and female energies can be reversed, and it's more talking about masculine and feminine energy. And the pages, they would always deliver. That was the only option, to deliver it in person. But nowadays, you don't need to be waiting for a page to show up. You want to realize it could be a telephone call, it could be a text message, maybe an email, or maybe something that arrives in the mail, documents. It sometimes can represent applications being answered, that interviews. This energy can sometimes also represent, being on social media, and there's so many platforms. Someone messages you, or maybe you attend an event that you see posted there, and then you run into someone. It's also really good to pay attention what's going on at the top of the pyramid, because whatever's happening with the elites and the leaders of the country is definitely going to affect everybody, trickle down at some level to the underneath. And we also affect what's happening at the top. Although lots of times it doesn't seem like it, we actually do. So the Page of Swords, he's the only page that's not really focused on his element. He already knows the logical question. So he's looking away from it now. Now he's looking towards his intuition. He's thinking outside the box. And so sometimes this can be like an idea that comes in, and it's like a light bulb moment, and it's a breath of fresh air. And we have the Ace of Cups. Aces, when they come in, are always talking about new energy, something new coming in. And this is a gift from the divine. It's a reward for being on your destined path and being a good person, being the best version of you can be. This is a cup overflowing with love. And the love, this quite often could be romantic love, but it could be just love of family, friends, and it could be maybe something you love to do or be. But this energy, it's in the flow. Like, this is something that's everlasting, peaceful, and out of the mud grows these beautiful water lilies that are about to bloom. And so this energy is quite often, like, as I said, like a divine partner coming in, but it doesn't have to be. Victory. The Six of Wands represents victory. You've had a victory of some sort. The wands represent the element of fire. This is they're made of wood, because wood fuels fire. And so this is about taking passionate action. And you can see this person is victorious. She's got a laurel on her wand here. And, just you can tell by the way she's sitting, she's proud. This leader, she's being recognized as a leader from these other people. They look a little disgruntled maybe, because maybe they wanted to be the winner, the one that was victorious, but they have to admit that, she did deserve to win, because she was able to control her emotions, rein them in, and discipline her mind to get a really strong result. And that's how she managed to be victorious. This is talking about your abundance. And this is your self-image. So you might be in a position right now where you want to offer someone a cup of love, or you feel love for someone. Maybe you just met someone. It most likely is romantic, but it doesn't have to be. And this, or someone is feeling that way about you, and maybe you don't know yet. They see you as a leader. You see yourself as a leader. You've done really well here. You've had a victory. This could represent like a job, a promotion in your career, or something like that, as well as, something passionate that you're passionate about. And the people in the background maybe applied for the position as well, but you were the one that did the best, and they recognize you're deserving of it. But they still wish, they're kind of maybe are a little bit jealous because they wish that it was them. This energy is talking about the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles energy, he's one of 4 kings in the minor arcana, and this one is representing the pentacles represent your health, wealth, and happiness in the 3D. So it's matters of the earth and earthly matters. The pentacle represents the element of earth, and of course, money is a really big part of that. On the planet, we need money to live a good lifestyle. So the energy here is about money, but it's more than that. It's about lifestyle. You could have all the money in the world and still not be living the lifestyle that you want to live. This energy, he has grapes all over his robe, because grapes in tarot represent the energy of someone who, like, grapes are hard to grow, and they're like a luxury item. And so if the King of Pentacles has the robes on, the grapes are on his robe, are showing that he does live a luxurious lifestyle, and people look up to him because he's able to bring that in, like to grow a good lifestyle. And the energy can represent people in the banking industry, money industry, basically. If this is a banker, this would be someone who is at least at a managerial position. It could represent accountants, wealth management, financial advisors, insurance salesmen, retirement planning, all of those types of things. As well, and if this is so, it would most likely be someone that is a partner in an established firm. And it also could represent real estate for sure, because this is earthly matters. So if it's a real estate agent, this would probably be someone that is, established, and they probably are working with more high-end property. That could be commercial or residential, but they would be, well established. The energy also could represent, the stock market, mortgage brokers, stock market, selling gold, silver, minerals, oil, talking about those industries, mining, all of that type of thing. And then we have, this could be an entrepreneur that is just very successful in whatever business they're in, or a financial advisor, that top financial advisor for a large corporation. It could represent as well, financial ministers, of the government, the ones that are setting the budget, etc. So the King of Pentacles energy is basically talking about lifestyle. And this is in your early communication. You could have been raised by people that were in those kinds of industries, more professional and educated in those matters. And so this could be, you maybe were raised in a way that your parents were professional people, and maybe they taught you the values, like how to deal with money. Although a lot of times people that are in that industry, I hear a lot of the time from people that were raised by people that are in the bank a lot, that they didn't really teach them that much. They had to learn it on their own. So I don't know if that's true or not. I guess it's not an automatic guarantee that that's what this means. But you might be raised by people who are entrepreneurs, people in business, people that are doing well also. Like you probably in your youth, like when you were growing up, you probably were raised by, had a beautiful home, and, in one of the top neighborhoods in the city, that type of energy. And then we have the Six of Cups. So the Six of Cups or sorry, the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups, we already talked about the Six of Cups. The Seven of Cups is talking about opportunities that are available to you. This is like something that's destined for you. The energy is talking about, in each of these cups, there's a gift. The gifts in these cups are kind of weird, though. They can be dressed up as challenges. We have a snake in one, a mushroom. We have, flowers. We have a laurel wreath, beauty. These different gifts are something that, might be wrapped up to look like a challenge, but there's a lot of possibilities within. So the universe is saying these are available to you, but you need to, like a black hole, you need to pull them into yourself. You have to claim them, and then you have to put your own spin on it. So you have to put your energy into it to make it, to bring the possibilities out of the cup. And sometimes this can talk about being spoiled for choice. So you might have had a lot of material items, or physical, like toys, and when you got older, maybe, toys like cars and like that, motorcycles and that type of thing. I'm just picking up an energy like that. A lot of, like the latest thing that comes out technology-wise, or for toys, and then going on vacations and maybe traveling and that type of lifestyle. And so that in itself, when you're raised that way, you have a lot, you're going to notice the opportunities more often, because culturally you're more expansive than someone that wouldn't have those opportunities. But spoiled for choice means also that, and there's so many choices here at once that you don't know which one to choose. So it makes you freeze and you choose none of them. We have the Six of Swords, and the Six of Swords is representing this energy of, its thoughts here again with the sword. This quite often does represent some illusion or something about your childhood. This card can represent the adult and child sitting there without baggage, can represent they're in rough water right now, so there could be something chaotic in your life right now. And, this energy can be talking about wanting to move from, volatile emotions, a chaotic situation, to calmer waters. So you go off to isolate and pray and meditate and be with God for a while, so that you can heal something that's happened in your inner childhood. So like a lot of times when children, there was a show at one point, or a cartoon called Poor Little Rich Boy or something, I can't remember, Richie Rich, the poor little rich kid. And so a lot of people, when they talk about poor little rich kids, everybody's, oh, poor them, But the fact is, quite often, people who have a lot of money but not a lot of time have a tendency to show their affection through material things, rather than giving their time to their children. And so sometimes there could be, I'm just picking up some sort of energy around that. And so this is talking about going off. This conveyor who's taking the child adult here in the boat has to really dig deep in the mud to be able to get out of this rough water and get into the calmer waters. And so it's talking about you having to dig deep to heal some of this energy sometimes. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles. So the Knight of Pentacles energy, there's some sort of information coming in about your lifestyle. Is usually when the Knight of Pentacles comes in, very much like everything I said about the Page of Pentacles as far as the information, how it, the different ways it can come in, the fact that this could also be a female. This energy, the Page of Pentacles, he's the slowest of all the knights. You can see like his horse is literally at a standstill. But when he does bring the offer in, like the information in, the communication, it's usually well thought out, researched. There's been some due diligence done here. So usually when he comes in with an offer, it is a credible one, and one that's, a solid offer. Okay, so those are the internal forces. And so the internal forces There is we have two communications coming in. One is about ideas, and the other one is about the pentacle energy. There's nothing like really pressing here at this point as of yet. We're going to continue with the external forces. The energy of the astrologically in the first week of July. I mean, there's a lot happening, but it's already kind of happened energy, except we do have because today's the 29th, as I do this reading, tonight there will be a full moon in the sign of Capricorn. And this is the opportunities is in your Cancer place. So Capricorn, across the wheel in the horoscope from Capricorn is the sign of Cancer. And Cancer is all about the home, domestic life. And the Capricorn energy is about your career, reputation, your public image, that sort of energy. And so this is kind of the theme of this full moon. And it's basically saying that, the more even, the more equalized your home life is with your public life and your public life with your home life, the more beneficial it is going to be for both. And so it could be talking about something to do, like maybe you have something like that happening where, your work is requiring a lot of you, and at the same time, you're trying to do your best to be home and be there for your children, your spouse, whatever. But it could be even you're going to school and work and you don't have much time for friends, or, or some people have a very different public image compared to the way they act in public can be totally opposite to the way that they act at home. And if your public life is supporting if your public life supports your domestic life and your domestic life supports your public life, that's going to be a way better outcome all the way around. If not, it can cause issues. And we do have some heartbreak here, because I was wondering why, this card here and this. So it feels like the heartbreak is from when you were younger. Like something maybe happened at some point there when you were younger. When you look at this, you can see, wow, this heart has 3 swords in it. That's not good. But when you look again, you realize, wait a minute, that heart is quite big in context to the swords. So there could be it's something that you could heal from. These are more like stakes. You might be hanging out with a vampire. No wonder you're tired. This is can be talking about the heartbreak being from if you were in a romantic relationship. Sometimes this can be a third-party energy dividing a couple. It can be gossip, slander. It can even be perjury in court. It can be harsh words being spoken. Someone who's afraid to tell their truth or be themselves, like as I was saying, like your public life and your personal. So it can be that talking about that type of energy. It could be talking about a reconciliation of some sort, especially with Mercury in retrograde. But it's basically saying, like, for this heart to heal, you're going to need to forgive, and forgiveness is not about, when you forgive someone, it doesn't mean that you don't even have to tell them you forgive them. You just want to heal your heart. That's why you forgive. And, you want to make room for new love and to have the opportunity to gain. You don't want it to, the wounds here to remain with you forever, and you never are going to love again, and, that kind of energy. So forgiveness is for yourself, but it could be that, to have, like, this card being out with this card could mean that you have forgiven someone and that you're reconciling with them. It could be that type of energy. And it's also just talking about this new love coming in. Now, if you have an option of new love and you have an option of someone who broke your heart coming back in, just be aware that people have a tendency to show us exactly who they are the first time around. And if something has happened in that vein, keep in mind that there could be this new love coming in that would maybe be a better match. And then we have the magician energy. So this is, yeah, talking about the external forces coming towards you are, I feel like this is like this gift from God would be the way I would go. It's up to you, of course. You know, I wouldn't know you. I don't know your situation. You would have a better idea for sure. But this is talking about it. There's an energetic upgrade coming in, and it's on your partnerships, commitments, and marriage. So definitely it could be saying a new partner coming in, as above, so below, bringing thoughts and energy from the heavens down to earth, 100% infinite potential to the power of infinity and beyond. And you could, to be able to create this beautiful garden with this other, you know, with new love coming in. This is saying you have all the tools you need. You've learned a lot from this situation. You've healed your heart. This is talking about this energy. You know, you need to use the tools, and you need to figure out which tool is the best one to use in which situation, and to be able to create this beautiful garden. And this could also mean that, like, this could be someone from your past that you've known, like when you were a child even, because it could go back that far. If it's like your hometown that you're going back to and you run into each other, that sort of energy. But I feel like this new energy coming in could be someone from the past, but it wouldn't be someone that you had a past relationship with. And that would be not likely. This is talking about 9 of Cups. I feel like this cup would complete this. You would have 10 cups then. So I feel like overall you're doing very well, but there was something that happened that really hurt you. And you're recognizing that maybe you're doing really well in the Pentacle and department, because you just decided when your heart got broken, to heck with that. I'm going to focus on my career. And, it paid off for sure. But then now maybe you're saying, well, I've got 9 cups. Like I've got, I have the career I want. I have the clients. I have the home I want. I have I have friends and family, etc. People I love. And I love doing what I'm doing. But I don't have love, a romantic love, and maybe you want to start a family, or it's that type of energy. So this is saying that you or the person that's coming towards you could be a public figure or work for the public, like politician, governor, like that type of energy of someone known in the community. Or you could actually literally be on stage and be a movie star or a musician or whatever this is. And this is saying you're comfortable on the stage, but there is some sort of energy here where that you have these 9 cups. Now we don't know for sure. Are these in the past and they're back on a shelf? Are they hanging above the head, or are they like forward? And this is going to be in the future. You would have a better idea of that, how many of these cups you already have. But this 10th cup would give you the love that you want, but you need to heal your heart before you can have it. That's the energy I'm picking up. And then maybe you realize the reason why maybe you've had more than one relationship that ends up like this, and it's because of something from your childhood that is lacking, and you need to heal it so that you make better choices when it comes to love. Okay, so then this is talking about staying focused. It's saying don't let other distractions come in. You want to stay focused on moving forward. Many a race is lost in the last lap. And this is talking about in your transition. So this is where I feel like this energy coming from the external forces is talking about this new love coming in for you. And then we have, and if it's not like romantic love that you already have a partner, it could be a spark reuniting in your romantic love life, or it could represent something you love to do or be. Maybe someone that comes forward and they love what you do and they want to put some money into it or something like that. Someone that would be a really good partner for you. So in business, and then you would still have like the love at home sort of thing. So it doesn't have to be about love, but quite often it is. Justice is coming in. This would be justice for you to have this beautiful lifestyle. You know, like if this cup comes in, then you've got 10 cups. You have a lot of love to work with there. And it looks like you know, pentacle wise, this is saying there's some sort of information about pentacles coming in, about lifestyle changing. This is your daily routine may be changing. Well, if you get a new lover, I'm sure it will. And so this is talking about justice. This is the way the universe works. Like if you're dedicated to moving forward in the best way you can, then you usually are rewarded. The universe doesn't usually reward people with a whole bunch of money that don't know what to do with it, unless they're needing to learn a lesson about losing a bunch of money. And you see that when people win the lottery, a lot of people end up bankrupt, you know, a few years later. So it's astonishingly high, actually. So the Justice sword is a double-edged sword. It's talking about if you're on the right side of the law. You notice she has it in her right hand. If you're on the right side of the law, then the justice will be beneficial for you. And if you're on the wrong side of the law, well, basically you've been caught and you're going to have to deal with the consequences. So this can be about redemption from karma. Karma, a lot of people think, oh, karma is punishment, but karma is actually cause and effect for your actions and sometimes your inactions. So you could directly have karma from doing something that causes someone a lot of pain and struggle and suffering, and you know, you did it, and you know, it's happened. You've taken that action, or you see someone doing that, and you have the authority. You have, you know, you could stop their suffering in a minute, and you just choose not to because you benefit in it. You're benefiting from it in some way. Then there could be indirect karma, which would be maybe unfinished business from your ancestors, sometimes your descendants, and it can be about the people you associate with, like friends, family, business, you know, peers, all of that type of energy. And this is in your higher learning. And then we have the Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Wands, her energy, she's generally like considered the happiest of all the queens. She's got this sunflower here. It's representing that she, like the sunflower, she turns to God. And that's why she's happy. Like she has this veil behind her, and it's representing the thin veil between the spiritual and the physical realm. So she does her best to use her logic and her intuition to find creative solutions to any problem, and she usually does. And so she has a pretty good track record. And the little black cat here is representing superstition, but she's not a superstitious person, because she knows if a problem comes up, she'll find a way to she'll find a creative solution. She understands that very well. And so that's why she's generally like, she's considered a natural beauty, very happy, you know, sexy, a lot of like fun, optimistic to be with, that type, you know, lighthearted energy. So that is in your position of, we have transition, then we have higher learning, and this is career and reputation. So yeah, if you're like this, when you're out in public, you're probably going to gain more fans, etc. And then if at home, you know, like if you're the same way, then your children are not going to feel like all you can, you know, yeah, oh yeah, when my parents are out, they're so kind and nice and everything. When they get home, all they do is yell. You know, it's that type of, or they ignore us, you know. There's the Eight of Wands here. So it's saying that something has been launched. There's some sort of action been taken. This is talking about, you know, these 8 wands are landing. Toom, 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 toom. All like they've already been launched. If you think about the Sagittarius energy, the centaur shooting the arrows up in the sky, and they hit their mark perfectly. That's the energy coming towards you, and it's already happening on the spiritual realm, so you'll be seeing it soon in the physical. And then we have the Page of Wands, and the Page of Wands is talking about enthusiasm. Of all the pages, like he is, you know, optimistic, and he's very much like, he's dressed to the nines here. He's got a feather in his cap. It's a real coup to be a page, a much better lifestyle than a lot of other people would be living like it. And it's prestigious for the family as well. But this is someone who loves to travel and explore new and just be like adventurous and optimistic. And, you know, think of a young masculine energy that is wanting to explore the world. That's what the pyramids here represent. And the one thing, though, you need to be aware of with the Page of Wands is you may notice he really, really loves his wand. He admires it. And sometimes, not even sometimes, but most of the time, actually, because he's under 21, he's thinking with his little head rather than his big head. So sometimes when he brings information or communication in, you really need to double check it, because he doesn't always have his mind on the information he's delivering. He's easily distracted. Let me put it to you that way. So this is someone that loves to take passionate action. All right. I hope that if you're leaving the reading here, thank you for your time and energy, your likes, comments, shares, subscribes. I really appreciate them all. And I am going to clarify now with my oracle. I don't know why I was shuffling that deck. So my oracle is Tales from the Vector. It's courtesy of the Intergalactic Federation of Light. And this is one of the paintings. This is the Leo painting, Leo the Lion. The sun having a solar flare. This energy is, I did 12 paintings. Well, these are actually ink drawings and they're reproductions on canvas. But I've been working on this since 2007, and in 2020, I finished all 64 paintings. I have a website, talesfromthevector.com. The numbers on these cards represent the paintings as they're listed in my gallery on my website, talesfromthevector.com. So you can check them out if you want further information. They say a painting paints 1,000 words, and it might give you further clarity. Now we have denial on this card. So what I don't know won't hurt me. Yeah, I think like you need to be careful if someone's coming in, it's like Mercury retrograde. It's just famously that way. And it's kind of like you don't want to be in denial. You don't want to be the queen of denial, not unless you're from Egypt. So indifference is talking about the karmic space of indifference. So that's like when people say, oh, we're all in it together, but they can walk by, like they have no problem walking by people suffering and, you know, walk right over them, you know, go into a fancy restaurant, eat an expensive meal, come back out, not even bring the person a doggy bag. You know, it's like total indifference. But this indifference can be to your suffering as well. A lot of times they'll smile in your face and in the back, or in the when they, you know, you turn your back. As soon as you're out of sight, they're the ones that are gossiping, you know, and maybe stabbing you in the back to get something that you want, or that they want that's of yours. We have the superstar energy here. So this is talking about having harmony in your life again. I feel like maybe because this can be about harsh words being spoken in that, there could have been some really harsh words spoken when someone broke up with you, or you broke up, or even maybe your parents with you, or your family, whatever that is. It's really been challenging for you to open your heart up and feel like you have harmony and be able to speak your truth, because you've been shut down, I feel like, often. And so sometimes when we're in situations like that, especially when we're young, we have a tendency to learn just to shut up, just be quiet, put up with it. You know, sometimes if you've ever been in that situation where, you know, people will say, well, if you need help, ask for it. Well, you can go and it takes a lot, and okay, I'm going to ask for help. And then you ask for help, and the very people that should be helping you turn out to not they're not doing their job, or they don't care, or whatever it is, and you're like worse off, because now what do you do? Now you don't even have the fantasy that one day you could ask for help and actually get it. So the Pisces energy is talking about the senior executive energy of the horoscope. So Pisces is the very last sign, and this can be about authority figures and that type of energy. It's about being leadership role, like having more responsibility, sink or swim energy, learning how to be a leader. This can be talking like I feel the reason Pisces came up here is because Neptune moved into the sign of Aries about a month and a half, 2 months ago now. And that energy is very, Neptune in Aries is very different from Neptune in Pisces. It was in Pisces for 14 years. And it rules over Pisces, so it was comfortable there. And Pisces, and we all learned how to, for the last 14 years, okay, this is how I do it. You set up your systems, you figure it out, the shortcuts to being able to get things done quicker. And it works. And it works almost every time because you've perfected it. But now, Neptune, which is kind of in charge of that part of life, like your attitude towards life, your idealism, like how you approach people and relationships and in business, at home, whatever. That's the Neptune. Neptune was very comfortable in Pisces, but in Aries now, it's like this is a totally different sign. This is a baby, a newborn baby. It's the very first sign in the zodiac. This is, think about a newborn baby yelling its head off, crying, and everybody running, trying to cry. What's wrong with the baby? What's wrong with the baby? Why won't it? Why can't we get the baby to stop crying? Are they hungry? Are they sad? Are they, are they cold? Are they hot? Like, it's that kind of energy, and it's kind of getting into that energy where a lot of people, if you're not aware that there was a big shift astrologically for the next 14 years, we're going to be in the sign of Aries. Now, Pisces was a water sign and it was more dreamy, and Aries is a fire sign. And, the glyph for Aries is a ram. Think about a ram and think about how babies come headfirst into the world. It's headfirst energy. It can be very, you have to be quick on your feet. You got to, learn a lot. Look what a baby learns in the first year. So we're all kind of learning like how to do things differently from what was working, what we perfected over 14 years. And it's very frustrating and irritating. It's kind of like, man, why did they have to change it? It's like when your phone updates or your computer updates and you were getting along great, you finally figured it out, and now you wake up one morning and you didn't ask for it. You didn't ask for the change, but there it is. It's damn thing's updated. Now you have to learn how to use it all over again. And it's frustrating because the things that used to work don't. And so a lot of people I find are like kind of feeling this way, and it's saying like, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, because it might just require a slightly different, a tweak in the way you do things. You might do things slightly different, and you might find, hey, the new system is very efficient and works almost as well as the old one once you get used to it. And it might eventually even be better. So the falling and failing in love is a matter of I, and this is talking about healing that heart energy. And this is sitting, so there could be, you could be the King of Pentacles, or you could have a King of Pentacles energy coming towards you. We have the need to be right is another karmic space. So if you need to be right all the time and everybody else has to be wrong, it's not that much fun for the people that have to be wrong. So sometimes we can fall into, like, if we've had a situation where we weren't right and we thought we were, we can get really attached to that, and it can be a karmic space that we fall into. But sometimes it can be making mountains out of molehills, and sometimes it can be making molehills out of mountains. So you have to watch from both sides. We have the Magician. This is talking definitely doing this healing work is going to be a huge energetic upgrade for you, because then it's going to put you in a position of the next relationship you get into is going to be much more beneficial for you. We have the Cancer energy here. The Cancer energy, this is talking about the full moon tonight for sure. I mean, Cancer is opposing it. It's in Capricorn. We talked about it at the beginning. The Cancer is ruled by the moon. So I have a feeling that this moon is going to be quite emotional. You may have noticed it already. It's going to be a little more emotional because there's, Mercury in retrograde the very same day. And it's kind of like miscommunication all over the place, and little glitches happening in technology, and, just missing information here and there and not getting the whole story, that kind of energy. For the underlying energy, for the external forces, we have use your intuition. Really good idea. because whatever's coming towards you, you want to use your intuition, especially at the time of a full moon right now, as we're moving into this energy of July. And with Mercury in retrograde, like you might have to double check your information quite a bit, which you should do if you're getting it from AI anyway, because AI, I've noticed, can be wrong. You have to double check it. That we have the dissemination of information. So this is another type of, this is a tactic that sometimes people use, and it's like when the information is scrambled and you can't quite get it. It's, talking in double talk, double speak. Every profession has their own language generally, but this, it's when there's an elephant in the room, but everybody's saying, what elephant? We don't see an elephant. And you're like, what are you talking about? Like, you can clearly see that elephant. But this energy is really common with Mercury in retrograde, and it's sitting on this energetic upgrade. So this is basically, again, saying keep your focus. Don't get distracted by other people's bullshit and then end up, having a tower. There we have it right there. And now this says divorce, but it doesn't necessarily have to be divorce. This can be, the worst divorce is from source. The tower is when your intuition is telling you something and you don't listen. Like if this person from the past comes in, and they're giving you a line of bullshit here, be careful with that energy, because if they, you don't want to miss out on that 10th cup coming in and then have a tower instead of having the, and I feel like, a lot of times that's what happens. Like they might have heard, oh, wow, a lot of times people that, as soon as you don't want them anymore, have you noticed that? That's when they show up again. So you finally get over them, and then that's when they show up. And then dissension with friends like this, who needs enemies. So you've been swimming with sharks. I've been picking up that energy, something about your childhood, something about maybe this third party energy. Could be, there's something there. Just kind of pay attention and, just, again, double check your information. Aquarius, okay, so we have Uranus energy. So, and also Pluto is in Aquarius. And Pluto, that energy runs really deep, and it just moved into the sign of Aquarius, and it's going to be there for 20 years. I think it was about a year. I can't remember exactly, but it's a long time that Pluto's there. And Pluto wants us to do things differently, just like this other energy. Wants us to check out different ways of doing something. And it's not surface energy either. It's like how we really deeply feel. So I feel like it's to bring that public image in an alignment with the domestic one. And on top of that, Aquarius energy here is ruled by Uranus, and Uranus just moved into the sign of Gemini. See, we have these big these big planets that we're moving about, and a lot of them moved in this last 6 months. And it's a lot of energy, and they're big planets that take a long time to move, so they're having a more profound effect on us. And then we also have the ones that move more quickly, like Mercury going into retrograde. But Uranus hasn't been in the sign of Gemini since 1941 to 1949, which was during World War II, and the aftermath of it. And that energy, bottom line, wants the truth to come out. And we're seeing a lot of that. So there's a lot of truth coming out, whether people scramble, whatever they do, eventually the truth is coming out. And it's coming out in weird ways about weird situations. And it can be from like a long time ago. Like the last time, as I said, 1941 to 1949, man, that's like 75 years ago from now, as we're doing this reading. So be aware of that. Like the truth is going to come out, but like the truth might be coming out in a weird way. And so double check your information. Again, it's saying, and we're talking about the moon having reckless abandon. So, and that's WRECK. That's talking about discipline your mind to be quiet and go with your intuition for like tonight in particular. Go with your intuition. Like if you're journal it or whatever you need to do, but don't just discount it. If something pops up and it's a really good idea, write it down so you don't forget it. Because you think you'll forget it, or you won't forget it because it's such a good idea. But then all of a sudden you realize, oh, dang, I should have wrote it down. And we have father figures coming in on this action here. So this could be talking about some sort of energy in the family. This is blessings coming in. So there could be something, you could be a father. This could be a father figure, the father of your children. There could be an energy of someone that, because this is something coming towards you, or an action that you've taken. So it could be something that happened way back when, and you're finding out about it now. And sometimes that can be talking about an energy coming in from, an inheritance or something like that. There's been a lot of energy like that. And we also have All-Star, which is the third eye. So it's talking, use your intuition and your insight right now. You're going to be much better off if you do. All right, so I do hope that this has been beneficial for you and that you've enjoyed it. I really appreciate your likes and your comments, your subscribes in particular. I feel honored when you do so. And I will be back with another reading for you soon. Bye for now, Leo.